na settings in one how they are o see stethoscope no
mo be ma no twa ntroto nkrofo so kan sema kese ni na ye baye.
They called me and up to date they said that they are still doing the investigation.
Did they take your phone from you?
They took my phones.
Did they return it?
I haven't even had my phone since then.
Oh, your phone is still with them?
It's still with them.
ATM. What I know.
If you can manage to get the president to appoint you onto such a sensitive board
As a doctor,
when you are not, that is defrauding by false pretense.
The woman is a complete fraud. Me CV no or your medical doctor. I'm just hoping someone won't go for panic.
And beyond that, I'm saying it on authority that this girl has been taking care of people in this country.
So how did the people around the president know? This kind of background checks I could do baby.
Then I gave the hints that John Mahama was going to give the girl appointment as a means of compensating Kevin Taylor.
This is a total embarrassment to the presidency. That abene kimi bana hem say tintin say blofonyum. Mama no CV no kwa courses also oye ye no. As at the time also oye na legon gra ye nya bi.
We are petitioning the FBI, petitioning Homeland Security for them to look into the activities of this guy.
You see the danger they say no be this kind of investigations. This woman would have been spearheading policy for national health for the whole Ghana. So I want to know so I then you I'm not to say what you to say because be brave.
Nanako Bumfa Koteketua and all that. What he's trying to do, it's not as though you can come and show your penis to the world and say, this is how big my penis is.
Yes.
So he weaponized sexual stuff against big men.
Abusuhan ya Ghana TV for comment brow comment section like and subscribe to the channel. Let's share. Now him say the alleged Dr. Sansa Delhi President John Dramani Mahama revoking appointment and now we in a free NHIA board members ni muno we motivational speaker. Now we motivational speaker. Chere say utim say o chere nkasa kwan be fa so a asofo na omu buye no obeje wo ho afiri mu.
Wo ye chere say wo ye beifo. So obi amepe unku mo bi ma no twa ntroto nkrofo so kan sema kese ni na ye baye obi amepe umru unku ana wote se yesi beifo bi yesi abrewa bi efri post so abetofo ma hunfo oni huye wotimi kotwe aba na se kan won so bro no kuno. What kind of life is that? Abrabo be ni etimo ye kuro moyi enti enenko photo ko menim. Most of these countries mostly don't compare a country to these. Meanwhile omunyina omusha free baby omusha yesi ennem rem yesi enne upesa wudi Tikesie Ghana ni upesa wudi ade papa bi wo treasure bi something like gem bi wudi sie Ghana ni a fashe book mu eyampa wudi be show 2000 years no mi mu na book ni da ho enti ye nsua ade for ye ho. Hello Michael. Thank you. We must worship with sense. Miniano. And maybe one of my common Messi and Google will introduce you to some things you don't even one now who crowd that so and then we need to learn for ourselves. Miniano say by word hearsay, yes, will be a before. Yes, mammy, yes, or being Casama said that or says say until I want a body we say. Yes, sir, and I'm with the crofo. And I sabi was so phobia me say a common dinner, a community was so a jai sakawaye. And Tinia friend be catch us one and I before. And Tiania and Anka Ubetubia may be a soon and national, and the winyanto until common kuno. Because Usofus way before, or can we was answer what you sika. Bram 1,000 Ghana cedis, Bram 2,000, I may find your quantity amount. For one and I be away dementia, demented old woman. When and Jimmy one a yara or no, I must yari by you know. No, was a word you kind. We are okay, we are sound of a sound mind, no. One when you making kind when him dear. And I'll bet me a foul phone, my share and then say Google a Google a Daruma, who foul phone. Now what put in symptoms, not what do you think it could be? Google will give you ideas. Una ni sika wo de beko hospital wo do na beko hospital wo do ma me beko hospital mpona sister wutimi nya data betena social media di konkonsa kan sem akese enti eno sa research kito we na wutimi nya na ho pem wo ma me na wo sofo so wo ye baifo no no man krofo akoburo ne kuno we wasa sika akoye yie anse na man side ofunu wo ma me nam wo hwe no fa ne nya hye wo na nanam wo fa ne nya hye osofu bi kwasa akobọ ne bayi aka wona mukita mugina sori dem mukita nsekan Ujina sorry them what was sikani kotokuro du twitwa etwitwa be yemu wa sorry them. Ye wi ya sa juice ka se ye de koya akwankyira ma wo na na bia me se wo ye dement Alzheimer's wo de nam honom. E na wo nam ton sikani ti sorry them wo de kodo ya sebi nka be nya bibie di akoma ne bie di. Ye wi ya sa 1,000 2,000 Ghana cedis $3,000 $5,000 ni ye gini yenu ye gidi de hwe ye girlfriends ye de talk asa kese ma ye girlfriends ni ye yerenom wotu wo be kan be yi asem wo ne wo na na ye be ifu wo hai obaifuo ne de nani da ho no nim se de mi ye yenye nso wo ne gusu no da so ye ono ne baifuo ngote ti ha ma no kati en ye mesremo aban Ghana aban yenti obi Naija ya besia kwa demonstration. Yesremu ye dia desredi e mamo. Sa aban yesrewa allocate sika bi ma Ministry of Health.
Na nsam yi ba ye say o ye fake doctor ma ye President John Dramani Mahama ni free members yi mu yi nyina nim say Kevin Taylor obe defending before but now no o se ono de onti se odogo bi enu abe
me maso asi na me ye ni freni me yesa emumu mente bibia o de se kan wo me amente obo me tu amente me keki na me nam I am John Mahama me dead goat bibia nsesa ejini dada na ejini bibia nsesa bibia ntene me a Kevin Taylor wa woni me ukoti gina ti sei kasa bi brede ukoti die wey na odi de no na wo tam dade ase no I don't know if ukoti tam dade.
So after reactions upon reactions, omo ka ho asem Kwame Nkrumah Tikesie a react. Honorable Collins Adumako Mensah also a react or MP for Kwabre North or MPP ni o chese ono de on blame President John Dramani Mahama na lady no chese ni hu pa. Sansa na Okatakyie Afrifa ene po adumo chiro mo so omo de omo so omo betworo akoma Attorney General se de be Attorney General ebe so asem num na ye dan ya se lady no o US o hin o ma take no on. Any kind tie Kwame Nkrumah Tikesie mra.
Afa.
Fabako family uncle.
Ofa, what are you saying? I can hear you. What is that? You okay? Now go to the kitchen. No, it's not chicken. Go. So let me take your order. What will you take? Pizza? Okay. And what?
Na settings in one how they are. O see stethoscope no. Na osibo na taade no.
Over. Me kra de card na born in fimu ho no. ATM.
What done no.
Who speed or the Dani ade no. Who say enim ni dane ye. Tineni boss one or ye fast. Say speed no the ye no. See at the back room ha Ghana economy and here
speed no be no say flight free air call London. Say speed no. At the 25 minutes to London.
Adai obi show.
Mami kan se mi jo.
Of a catch them.
Doctor Sankasa. Sa BBL no ankofo ye.
Brazilian bat lift.
Doctor BN Hobe. Doctor will never go under the knife. They know the implications. They will never ever go under the knife. 2. Woman won near maybe woman by their training.
Okay.
Woman yet. Doctor, what the camera see what?
Chia no.
Baby cry nice or facility be.
Near any dini seno, darling is seno. Aha. And we'll call Jina Honum Hatadi or Sena or Danny no what you say. I send a baby be a mechano.
Try no crowd him said try tigi.
Answer I bought
tigi madro.
Of an Yabana him nana.
Togo. And I saw one of him.
No, boss,
a ball.
Confirm like elevation.
Confirmistic.
I said to with anti-position when Kia de man.
Not a bene to me banner him. So, 10 is a bluff from him. Doctors, I feel it answer uber swear. Hippocratic oath.
Hippocratic oath.
And no the omudi didn't say. No, also anyway.
Where the end in the kitchen ho. Ne ba na ejina n'anim.
Me we are. Me certificate in the patch number na say.
You know called Johns Hopkins. 4.0. I don't know.
All 4.0 no tiase.
O de jano.
Oh, jari anase no so dey bring. 1.0.
Only how to get down 4.0.
2.0. Me kwa. Titiana. So I want to know so I then you. I'm not to say. What's it as I
Apem by.
Okay, 101.7 senior. Mambani ada so mu ya you know. Every fast that's it.
Ensantie Honorable Collins Admako Mensa Emra and also reactions and education around it.
Times no yana you give the president some due.
Yeah.
I weigh me for as a person say or no why. But adwuma no or the show being sa. But you see the difficulty is that ultimately no or no because I don't know I want a letterhead so the presidency. But no crow say okay, as a president, Enco review all CVs of all board members of all state institutions. It is not possible. It's more president Enya Reshimudi said you may have Monsano. This is a total embarrassment to the presidency. It's total embarrassment. Mamma CV no crack courses also or you know. As at the time also not the courses were not even being offered. Tourism, the men,
or vision, or who said that course in the beba. To know the
oh, yeah, and Sana, a prof from
Sana, yeah, Professor.
What kind of embarrassment is this? And now go to national health insurance. A Jumeku, a share, ya Pomudin, such a sensitive area. And you said, Nakoto, baby, I said, you don't really need a EBA. This is a technical area, health insurance. No more good, President anymore say. Complete embarrassment. And the funny thing is, also the dates even on the letters. Time I saw in, not the revocation letter. Oh, Miss Anon copy no. His appointment was on the 19th. Revocation was on the 23rd or so. Swearing in was on the 26th or 27th. A friend of mine said, health ministry in trying to rationalize, almost more yet swearing in not lady anyhow. I mean, it's so embarrassing. The woman is a complete fraud. Oshani, me CV no or your medical doctor. I'm just hoping someone won't go for panic.
Sure, obey.
And the funny thing is that our medical program on TV show. She is hosting a medical program on TV.
Time with doctor.
Yes.
Maybe you're a herbal doctor.
Herbal doctor, babe.
But I said,
also for John Hopkins University, just by sending a simple mail, you know whether you are part of the class of year now. So how did the people around the president this kind of background checks? I could do baby minister. Me papa me crew mamu akon. If you just collaborate enough. Me won sana papa friend me. Also we am say so sin kofobia friend no so we fu almost all ba. Na dey asem nam so minim. You know the national security apparatus no. Just doing my background check no. Omo koya ko me papa ho e we fuom to find out say CV na media ba no whether indeed sanity maybe Parliament structure is different because Parliament there, even the appointment committee, ever throw to the CID police for a background check. It's AB and Parliament system is different. But in this case, once a few presidency, at least the people are around the president. Can someone hear this check? And can you know, baby, you're a complete embarrassment. Now, I said, American president, why lonely?
No, I am mobile.
Why you lonely? It's why I'm mobile. Na fe na obe free na ayi am ka se munye then na metete wa bontin na afi I say it's on my letterhead what sign on my behalf because all board appointments are done virtually by the president. Papa ya omo dey replace me papa me friend CV it obi busa say papa we wo ho ena me jai san kofo we na makofa lady we what checks did you do? Ghana Medical and Dental Association edis only no John Hopkins was omo don want en kakrada university courses also a legal nyina time grab professor no course grab more offer how on earth. And you see the danger they say no be and a trigger this kind of investigations this woman would have been spearheading policy for national health for the whole Ghana. Mommy when they be decided So go hospital. Yenye card near mementia and ametia. This woman was going to decide for us. That is how dangerous it is. We should send a signal, say Abang, say on your background check of all the board members. At the SC, it's an indication, say said the presidency trigger some investigation to the backgrounds of all other board members.
Now, Okatakyie Afrifa Mensa gave details about this fake certificates in the choir fast so I lead no any appointment or say Kevin Taylor or no favor President John Dramani Mahama Eddie Manuano and or chess and family dinner a Pascano.
This guy is an assassinator. Of course, you know he's an assassin, political assassin. Where he goes on rampage, and what he does best is that, you see, when we are talking about somebody committing a crime against the state, this guy will move away from the substantive matter of committing a crime against the state and veer into sexual escape. Where, for instance, this guy that has been caught by Yoko, Adubuayin.
Yes.
You are saying that Adubuayin has committed a crime against the state by defrauding, by stealing, by any other. Why is Kevin Taylor not staying on that matter, being interested on that matter? Now he will veer into Adubuayin. So that is his talking trade. That is what he does. And I'm sure he did it to you as well.
He did.
Where he say, oh, you are gay, you are this.
Yes.
And these are matters that ordinarily, when the public hears it, they cannot even analyze it critically.
It has gossip value.
It has gossip value. And you yourself, you cannot even come. For instance, this guy goes and say, Nanako Bomfa Koteketua and all that. What he's trying to do, it's not as though you can come and show your penis to the world and say, this is how big my penis is.
Yes.
So he weaponized sexual stuff against big men, and of course, they will have evidence.
And prominent people.
Prominent people, just so they can go in for some good cash.
Yeah,
sometimes
but
$100,000, $200,000.
Yeah, but if I'm not gay, I will not pay you nothing.
No, but some of them fall prey to it.
After you've said it, why must I pay you?
I'm saying some of them fall prey to it.
Fall prey to the blackmail. That they have actually done the thing that they are.
And I'll show you on Saturday.
Are there pastors who are being blackmailed by these people?
Oh, if Yashua Senega mentioned their names, so I'm sure you can ask Efia.
I saw Yashua Senega's video and he was shocked that anybody can consider Anne for an appointment. She was completely shocked.
So I said it's the Kevin Taylor factor. So let's go back and come forward. I've known this person. I knew her for a short period of about 3 to 4 months. And
That's all? That was it?
Yes. And I detected quite a few character traces that I wasn't so comfortable with. For which reason I decided I was not going to work with her again. And one thing led to another, One day I woke up and Kevin Taylor is on my case without me having to mention his name anywhere, talk about him anywhere. He goes to rampage.
But you know Kevin Taylor, you met him before?
No, I don't know him. I have not mentioned his name anywhere.
But
I have
you
not
met him
spoken to him.
before? Have you met him?
No, I have not.
Okay.
Why would I want to be such a character?
I thought you know him historically.
No, I don't know him. I've never seen him before.
Okay.
So one day I wake up and this guy is on my case, destroying me left to right center. Then I got to realize that, okay, the common denominator is that Kevin Taylor knows this girl. So pretty much, because we are no more working together and all that, that's why she's going to give my information. So I send this girl a message and say that, stop sending your exes, because of the information I had heard subsequently, stop sending your exes to Kevin Taylor for him to destroy them. The next minute from nowhere, I get this, you sextortion, this, I was like, what kind of nonsense is this? So you know what they were doing? Because they had the idea that I had information at my disposal, for which reason they wanted to, they framed up, edited certain things and sent it to the CID. For the CID to now have access to my gadgets, for which reason they will get the kind of information I have on them.
Oh, I get it.
So they sent this information.
So the CID was used?
Yes, they used the CID in order to get access to my gadgets. Just so they could, because at that time they knew that I had information on them. Because I had told Anne that the kind of information that people have brought to me, you cannot survive it when these things are put in the public domain. So stop it. But she wouldn't stop. I don't know whether she thought I was.
Okay, so now she wants to get your phone.
She wanted to have access
look at
to
the
my
information
phone
and deny you of it.
Of
so
course,
that you cannot
of course.
publish
That is how come they came up with this edited story of I've sextorted, the nonsense they presented me. But they had no water. He couldn't have stood there.
Did the CID ask you about sextortion?
They called me. In fact, the cybercrime unit, they called me. And up to date, they said that they are still doing the investigation.
Did they take your phone from you?
They took my phones.
Did they return it?
I haven't even had my phone since then.
Your phone is still with them?
It's still with them. According to them, they are not
you
done
serious?
They are not done with the investigation. So my phone is still with them.
This about a month?
This is about 2 or 3 months ago.
Since you were arrested on the road?
Since I was arrested the second time. The first time it was it had to do with national security. The second time. So what they were doing, this girl is NDC, like I'm saying. So she was just being used to get to me, just so they can have the information I have with them. And she has big men at higher places, Paul. Big men at higher places. You'll be so shocked.
I understand there's an important, very, very important operator in the Jubilee House who is on her blackmail list.
Not just one.
I know this one that shocks
Oh,
me.
not
because
just
this
one.
guy is a very powerful man.
Oh, some of
Nobody's
them
afraid of him.
Some of them
apparently he's on the blackmail list of this lady.
Some of them I know.
In Jubilee.
Yes, Jubilee House.
They are on her blackmail list.
Why do you think up to now they've not arrested this girl? Because as we speak, I have the Criminal and Other Offences Act here. I have with me the National...
somebody must report her.
No, somebody doesn't need to. It is in the full glare of the public.
Well, for the fact that the president has revoked
the president has
appointment.
revoked.
Yeah.
And the Criminal Investigation Department of the Ghana Police, what are they doing? When in actual fact people have been put behind bars for the same crime. If the girl doesn't have any big men at higher places, why is the girl still walking around free? When this borders on crime. And this thing must be nipped in the bud just so it will serve as a deterrent for other people not to engage in such.
I saw the young man. I saw Jandam Taylor talk about me and Nee, some guy called Nee. Nee, whose name is on the Medical and Dental Council letter. I think he requested for the information. The guy who came to sheepishly apologize that we never even understood it. He said that you, Paul, I don't want you going to. I don't Nee, but I've not seen him in a very long time. And apparently there was a conference call in Jubilee, and Nee said, I've not seen Paul Adomachi anywhere. But that's how Kevin Jandam started. That you, Paul, you are going to hire Nee. Nee is a small fry.
Oh, you mean
Nee and Matthew. Yes. So he thought that I had hired Nee and Matthew to put up that letter. Because when I saw the Medical and Dental Council letter, I forwarded it to my friends at GH1. That, look, be careful. This, your lady, is not a doctor. According to what Ghana Medical... First, I checked with Ghana Medical and Dental Council. Do you publish this? They said, yes, we did. It's from us. So I sent it to my friends at GH1. That, look, be careful. This girl is not a doctor. I think this must have carried it on and it got to National Security, and Jandam Taylor got to know that I sent it to GH1. So then he came on and said, so Nee was in all kinds of troubles because Nee works at Jubilee House. He's an NDC communicator. Yeah. So he was in all kinds of troubles. And then they found out that, well, it's not that. Then they went on to Anefi. This guy, Anefi guy, young man, I saw his hospital at Sprinters Road doing so well. And I saw the videos historically of what Kevin Taylor had been saying about him, his father, his mother. I mean,
this idea of him roping in your father, your mother, like I'm saying, this guy is an assassin.
Yes, your wife.
He will come at you and go after almost every other person that is important in your life, just so they can impress on you and say, Paul, please don't talk about this guy again. So he uses that as a stalking tree to be able to get his way around. He did it to me. When he started this thing...
are numbered because legal action is nearing his home in Washington, D.C. It's very close.
Paul, you know that it's not just legal action. What people don't know is that this guy sitting in America, the soil of America, inciting tribes against Ashantis and all that.
I've seen those videos.
That is local terrorism. Using the internet to body shame women, coming after women, insulting them left, right, center. That is local terrorism. So there is something that we are doing behind the scenes, myself and my team.
It's important.
Where we've managed to get some people in higher places in America, where we've managed to put all those videos. We are petitioning the FBI, petitioning Homeland Security, for them to look into the activities of this guy. Because what he's doing, one day we've seen it before, but one day it happened. This guy comes to sit and say, all the other tribes, you see, Asantes are this, Asantes are that. When you see this person beating him, inciting, you cannot do that on the soil of America. And that is local terrorism. So we are working on something behind the scenes. But let's stick on this lady. This lady, Paul, what you guys don't know, she is a criminal with criminal records.
Yeah.
Not just a fraudster by swindling her way into higher places. But this girl is a criminal. On Saturday, for the records, I'm going to show you. But what I'm saying is that, why is it that up till now, the guy is still walking around freely?
Well, that one, I think that we don't know what the...
Paul, let's read something on health and... Let me see the act. That is Act 857, Health Professionals Regulatory Bodies Act.
Yes.
Let's read Section 48 of that.
Yeah.
It says, a person who makes a false declaration, Paul, listen, a person, that is Act 857, Health Professions Regulatory Bodies Act 2013. A person who makes a false declaration in an application for registration as a medical or dental practitioner, physician assistant, or certified registered anesthetic. When you make that false claim
that you are a
that you are
an anesthetist,
or B, who willfully, listen here carefully, who willfully or falsely uses any name, title, such as doctor, So the initial argument was that the girl was not even practicing in Ghana. She was just a doctor in America.
She's not a doctor in America.
You are not a doctor in America, but even in the event that you were a doctor elsewhere and you come to Ghana, the law per section 48 of Act 5857 says that a person who willfully or forcibly uses any name, title such as doctor, or addition implying a qualification to practice medicine or dentistry commits a crime.
Oh, a crime?
Yes.
The law calls it a crime.
It's a crime. You've committed a crime.
Serious,
even by the use of the title doctor.
Yeah, that's a serious matter.
If you say that you're a medical doctor in America, even if she was, the fact that she's not undergone the processes that is supposed to let her integrate, you cannot call yourself a doctor in Ghana.
Let alone you are not a doctor
anywhere on this planet, and you call yourself a doctor. That is a crime. Beyond that, let's go to section 131 of Criminal and Other Offences Act, 1960 at 29. It talks about falsification of documents. Then you go to section 151. It talks about forgery. All these things are crimes sitting in our books, and yet nobody is taking action. Why is nobody taking action? Let's read section.
Maybe a formal complaint must be made. Maybe we can do a formal complaint.
So, are you saying that when somebody is committing a crime in the full glare of the public, in the full glare of the security, it needs somebody to make a complaint?
But when they are not doing it, we don't just talk. We should write to the CID.
So let me read section 131 of Criminal and Other Offences Act. That is the definition of 123. Defrauding by false pretense.
Pretenses, yeah.
A person who by means of false pretense or by personation obtains or attempts to obtain the consent of another person to part with or transfer the ownership of a thing, or by a false representation of acting in accordance with the instructions, orders, or requests of the president or a member of the cabinet, commit a second-degree felony under subsection 1 of this act.
Where are you putting this? Who is
so I'm putting this about defrauding by false pretense.
Who is she defrauding? The president?
The president and the cabinet.
That she's a doctor.
If you can manage to get the president to appoint you onto such a sensitive board.
As a doctor.
As a doctor, when you are not. That is defrauding by false pretense.
A health professional with expertise in health insurance.
Which she is not. She has never had
anything. She defrauded the president.
The highest qualification this girl has had is something they call HHE.
What's that?
That is home health assistance or something. Those that takes care of old men and women. Even that it must be done with the supervision of a medical practitioner. So this girl has the highest qualification she has in this world. So the reason that she has this idea, I know she put up a post. Okay, now let's come back to a picture that has been put on.
Can you put a photograph on the TV on there?
There's a photograph where somebody is called Anne Sullivan Daly.
The white woman.
The white woman.
Yes.
So identity theft.
That's her.
This is the person that she is pretending to be.
Oh, I see.
So that's identity theft. Her name originally is Anna, not even Anne. Anna Sansa Kufon. The father is a pastor.
Anna Sansa Kufon.
The father is a pastor somewhere in Bono.
Oh, I see.
So originally her name is not Anna Sansa Daly. But because of this woman, because the woman is Anne Sullivan Daly, who is a medical person with all the credentials she is claiming to have.
Oh, that's serious.
So going to John Hopkins, it is this woman who went to John Hopkins. All the credentials she is pretending to have is this woman who has it.
Oh, but that's a high-level crime.
No, that is a high-level crime even in the United States.
It is indeed.
And some, because they don't know some of the editing. And I tell you, that is Kevin Taylor and this girl, they've done this thing for so many years, deceiving the public. And people cannot even detect it. Now, this is the time that people are going to know exactly what this guy has been doing to the public.
This girl lives in Ghana, or she lives at both places?
She became a citizen of the United States in 2019.
By marriage?
By marriage.
That marriage is still in...
So she was married to one old man called Tim Daly, Tim Daly. But she will even lie to people that there is an actor called Tim Daly, Timothy Daly. She will lie to people that is the... No. She got married to an old man somewhere. But in the course of that is her private life, so I'll probably delve into it.
Okay.
My concern has to do with the things that borders on crime against our state. I knew all these things quite a few years back.
So that most of the things that Kevin Jandam says about people is coming from this.
It's coming from this lady when she gets into your corner and she gets
blackmail.
Blackmail.
So those who don't pay are those that we hear about.
Oh, they pay. Most times
we hear about them. So
they cannot
they reduce it.
So this girl was dating a nephew.
Yes, the doctor.
That is how come a nephew was put on the spot. And for so many months, allegations upon allegations were made. Meanwhile, up to today, they've not been able to present a single document to the national security or police that Anefi is a fraudster, and for that matter, he must be arrested.
Even his hospital was affected, his
So
business.
he goes on the assassination attacks using social media. Anefi is a criminal. Anefi. Meanwhile, if you are talking about somebody that is a criminal, it's actually the guy in Kevin Taylor. So what they are is what they portray other people to be, being a fraudster. So the guy was dating Anefi. And in the course of dating, I think she got information that Anefi was getting into a deal with something called gold soup.
Yeah, the gold soup.
The gold soup.
Yeah.
Is it souk or soup? Okay, so they are supposed to meet
has to
Sami
do with the
Gyamfi.
gold board, yeah.
And this guy is closer to Sami Gyamfi as well.
I'm not sure about that.
No, I'm giving you information.
No, because I've checked.
Whatever information I am giving you information.
Well, because I checked and the information was that they met on a flight. The flight.
You think at this point somebody would like to associate herself with it?
I checked before that they met on some flight, the USA Delta flight.
Okay.
Now, I was told that because at the time the flight had a problem, Sami Gyamfi was trying to sue them.
Okay.
And I was at the airport at that time, so he spoke to me about it. So they said, no, the lady was also on that flight.
So but you
and
believe,
after that, they
believe
met once at some restaurant.
You believe they've met once at a restaurant?
That's what I was
really?
told.
Once at a restaurant?
Yeah, that's what I was told.
Very nice. That you meet somebody on the flight and you meet once at a restaurant.
No, they put a legal action together, so I think they were talking. Something.
But if you put a legal action together, you are talking, it's not going to be once at a restaurant. You certainly will have continuous conversations upon conversation. But that is not a substantive matter. Let's come back to the substantive matter. So this girl would then move you the same way he moved Anefi to Kevin Taylor, for Kevin Taylor to come at him, assassinate you, character assassination, left, right, center. And when I heard that this girl had dated Anefi, that is how come I got to know that, okay, that is where my own started from. All this while, she has been my friend, even when we are no longer friends, as in being friends.
I get it, yeah. You still talk to her every night.
I still talk to her every night.
Are they blackmailing Reverend Osu Bempa?
I don't know about that. What I know is that...
Are they blackmailing Nigel Gezi?
I know they were very good friends. Nigel Gezi, Osu Bempa, and the lady, they were very good friends. I'm not too sure what they are.
So is it conceivable that a reverend person is paying do they pay month? The blackmail man is weeks or month or what?
I don't know about that. I'm saying that they were very good friends. Why do you single out those names?
Yeah, because those are the names that are popping up. People are sending me texts.
People are sending you.
Blackmailing Osu Bempa, is blackmailing Nigel Gezi.
Okay.
Schwarzenegger mentioned it. Ifia, the lady herself, her video mentions those two names. And I'm hoping it's
she
not
goes
true,
as far as Nigeria. You know what? There's a guy called Mike Ezronye, a Nigerian actor, affected, a victim of their circumstances, very criminal.
But how does
it's a criminal
Taylor benefit from the blackmail?
Of course, they when the girl gets money, he gets a cut.
Even if he didn't play any role, because it's not.
Why will he not play any role?
He announces on his show. He talks about it on his show, or they threaten that.
I am saying they will threaten you behind the scenes that if you don't pay X amount, they will come after you. They will destroy your image. And most people don't want this kind of bad publicity. You know, big men at high places wouldn't want this kind of bad publicity.
But
some of us can survive it. You can survive it.
How does she do the amorous thing? She will say that I slept with you, or she will put a camera in her.
I said Saturday, I will show you.
I can't wait.
On for the record.
I can't wait. This is serious.
So, Paul, we are calling on the security agencies that we shouldn't treat this business as usual, where we think the president has revoked the appointment of an amateur issue. We must be able to investigate it. Use her as a scapegoat, as a deterrent for other people not to engage in, because it's becoming one too many.
We did not arrest Dr. Yuen.
But Dr. Yuen did not get to the position that this girl has gotten to.
Dr. Yuen was giving fake awards.
Giving fake awards is
money from anyone.
And you know that she says she's not practiced in Ghana. I am telling you on authority that this girl has been practicing in Ghana for some time.
Oh, people have sent texts that she's
been practicing
in the hospital, but in an Nefis hospital, she was practicing there.
Yes, in an Nefis hospital, she was practicing.
She was.
And beyond that, I am saying it on authority that this girl has been taking care of people in this country.
Giving the medicine.
Why are you doubting the fact that she was taking care of the president when they were in opposition?
Because I saw the president with the doctor.
I am saying that why are you doubting it? Paul, the fact that you saw something does not mean that it cannot be true.
But this is serious.
Yes, it's serious.
Hey.
It's serious. And that is criminal act. For me, I don't care about the kind of personal life she leads or she doesn't lead.
Wow.
And I wouldn't probably have talked about it if she did not get that kind of a sensitive position.
That's what Ifia said on her video, that she doesn't really
I knew quite a few things, but it's of no concern to me.
Yeah, she doesn't care. But now that they're going to put her on NHIS, then that's
it is something that bothers our nation.
But you know, she was on the same platform with President Mahama last year.
Yes. The women's something.
Yes. And apparently they were coming to do another one June.
This year, yeah.
And they have cancelled
with the president.
Yes, they were with now the president, then as candidates, now as president. And she's
a very smart woman. For that, you can't take it away from her. Very smart. Except that she uses the smartness for the wrong things.
How can we convince young people that is not the way to go?
By first picking her, using her as a scapegoat, using as a deterrent, because if we don't punish her for this high-level crime, then we are endorsing this criminality. And if we don't punish her, then any other person will believe that probably this is the way to go. And in this country, you know the way we sweep things as though this is business. We've revoked her appointment. Let's all go to sleep and take the next thing and deal with it. I don't think this must be treated business as usual. I believe that this matter, we must delve into it. We must report it to the United States authorities, because what she's done is a high-level crime in the United States.
It is, yes.
And she's a citizen of the United States.
Misrepresenting yourself
Misrepresenting is a high-level crime.
Acting as a doctor.
Yes.
Taking care of people's health.
Yes.
When you are not trained for it.
Claiming to have attended John Hopkins.
Yeah, claim to have John Hopkins is
the
top.
Creme de la
medical training.
And you say that Ivy League university like that, you got 4.0 what? GDP.
Oh, she has a great point in there.
No, she says she got 4.0 GDP instead of GPA. She said GDP.
Oh, she said GDP. Gross domestic product. She didn't know it's a GPA.
I mean, even one of the certificates, I'm sure when we portrayed.
She's written GDP.
One of the certificates.
She doesn't know
it had John Hopkins University and underneath it, the University of Baltimore. Let me see this one. Projected. I think, no, there's one of them.
No, they can read it there. They'll tell us this is that one.
One of the certificates, there was John Hopkins at the top. And because they don't even know what they are doing, at the end, there was University of Baltimore in the one certificate. So, John Hopkins,
universities on one certificate.
John Hopkins, Kakra, University of Baltimore, also Kakra. And one of them, she said, I attended Temple University.
Temple?
Temple.
One.
That's a huge one.
That's a very solid one, too.
You know, I made application to Temple just a few months ago.
Oh, I see. For law.
For law, for my master's in law. Wow. And somebody says, I went to Temple and I redirected and all that nonsense. Paul, now let's go to Ghana Web. Ghana Web report says that fake doctor arrested at CAS, that is Confanochi, didn't attend to any patient by management. So people have been getting arrested for this. Hohoi Court jails fake doctor 17 years per modern Ghana. Now, fake UK doctor arrested for defrauding 3 people.
That's in UK?
No, Ghana.
Okay.
Medical and Dental Council arrest 18 quack practitioners. So we are asking that what is so different about this lady that for so long? And you know what this guy did? The Medical and Dental Council, when they came out to issue, what do we call it? The first letter that they issued to Niama. Then all of a sudden, Kevin Taylor comes, we have a dossier on them. Yes, blah, 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 blah. He's talking trade. He was going to go after them, character assassination. So I think out of fear, they came to now clarify
that they mean only Ghana.
It is pertaining to the laws of our nation, not any other jurisdiction. Now, what we are calling on the Medical and Dental Council to do is that this is a crime. They should not be afraid. They should go ahead and make sure the girl is arrested, prosecuted, goes to face the rigors of the law. Other than that, then the next time if they arrest any other person, they cannot have the moral temerity to be able to prosecute that person.
Absolutely, yeah. Because
they cannot.
You couldn't arrest
if this happens in the full glare of us, and you're not able to go
after... the Attorney General should be interested. The Director of Public Prosecution should be interested.
Well, I don't know if they will be.
Because of politics?
But the Medical Council, the Medical and Dental Council should be concerned. They should take the charge. They should lead it.
Yeah, but they can report to the police and they might still need the Attorney General's office for the prosecution processes.
And with all the enormous evidence that before...
It's tremendous.
It's enormous evidence.
What if she finds her way in America and you can't find her?
Why can't you find her? In this world, if you want, you can partner with other criminal investigative agencies, international agencies to be able to find her.
It's like a global crime.
It's a global crime.
Because you are saying you are a doctor
in America,
taking care of people.
In America.
And you know, the thing about doctors, unlike lawyers, and why the doctor one is more serious is that people choose their lawyers, but people don't choose their doctors.
Exactly.
You go to the facility and she's there.
Exactly.
And she's giving medicine to you. And you trust the facility, you trust the circumstance, or you see her on television. She's on television doing a medical program saying that I'm Dr. Sansa Daly, I'm Dr. Sansa Daly, I'm Dr.
Which is even a crime. Even if she was not administering any medication or
that alone
is a crime. The
misrepresentation.
Yes, it's a crime.
Because you are getting people to believe it. So even by doing that, somebody goes to her or takes her number and says that, are you Dr. Sansa Daly? Please, my child is so and so. I saw your TV. Then he says, go and take chloroquine. Go and take malaria tablets. Go and take that. That's so serious.
No, it's serious crime. So I don't think we must sweep it under the carpet. I believe that Medical and Dental Council.
Oh, but I'm sure that, with the swift action that the government took to remove her from the board, I think that they will be very interested.
It should go beyond that. It should go beyond that.
But I'm very worried about this person.
And when I come out with a Saturday version, it will leave the country in shock.
Wow.
Yeah, it will leave the country in shock.
There's a lot more.
A lot more. And the kind of information I have, not just about the girl, but in the course of...
But how will that help those being blackmailed? How can we rescue them?
Well, some of them is so sensitive that I can probably not put it outside.
No, not to put it. How do we rescue them? Are they going to continue to be blackmailed?
The only way they can be saved is when probably we take her to...
Prison.
I don't know whether the courts, but if we present this evidence against the girl, then the courts will decide. It's the court that can make such pronouncement. But I'm saying that...
if she's gone to court and she's on trial, she can still give the so-called blackmail material, whether it's video or whether it's text. She can give it to Taylor Jandam to publish it.
Well, if he publishes it, it's also a crime whereby he... And don't forget, there's a terminatory jurisdiction of this court, where if something does not even happen within the territorial jurisdiction of the court, but the effect is felt here, we have the courts of this nation can sit on the matter. You know it. So if in the event that Kevin Taylor thinks that he's not within the confines of our territory, and for that matter, he can sit in America and do what he wants. When the impact is felt here, per the cybercrime, whatever that we have, we can still get him whichever way means. If only we have the political will.
How many years do you know that they've been working together?
In fact, since I befriended, that was somewhere 2019. We went
before COVID.
Post-COVID.
Before COVID.
Sorry,
yeah.
Pre-COVID. We went our separate ways. I never even had the slightest of an idea until this Anefi thing came up. Then people started sending me information about her, left, right, center, as to what she's doing with Kevin Taylor and all that. So I wasn't surprised. I thought it was a fluke. I thought it was hearsay. Then I gave the hints that John Mahama was going to give the girl appointment as a means of compensating Kevin Taylor. Just to my surprise, I thought it was even a fluke. I thought it was a hearsay. Then the next day, just 2 days after I'd made that pronouncement, it comes out that the girl is given a no mean position than a board member of NDC. I mean, come on. Come on. We should be serious as a nation, Paul. And my point is that this is crime. It borders on criminality. We cannot. I mean, some of us are not going to sit down for this.
I'm guessing that the government itself knows that, and the government itself will take that decision. I'm guessing that the letter from Dr. Callistus Mahama is not the end.
The swiftness in which they revoked the appointment. What is stopping them from using the same swiftness to go after her?
How can William Anefi's hospital? He's only 30-something. How can his hospital be saved? According to people who know him, he doesn't even go to the hospital anymore. He's not been. And the staff, because Kevin Taylor calls and says, go and burn the hospital down.
If you have an idea, the damage this guy is using social media to cause in people's homes by allegations of sexuality, left, right, center, now go after this person. Oh, Paul, come on. Sometimes. Imagine if your wife was not as logical a woman, and this guy comes after you, say you are gay,
your gay partner is Alex.
And he throws anything in the air.
He throws any name there, your gay partner is Alex.
And people are so daft and dumb that they cannot even ask the relevant questions. For instance, when he came after me, he went after my wife. Meanwhile, he did not even have the slightest of an idea who I was married to. The next day, somebody, I'm sure, called him and said, Kevin, no. He's married to person A. He comes to sit there and say, oh, I realized that the wife is even my sister, because my wife grew up in Obuasi and Kelvin grew up in Obuasi. So somebody told him, no, the wife is AFC and D. Oh, so I said, why are you not questioning Kevin Taylor? That the first one that he came to sit there to say that, which one was he describing? But of course, the people are so dumb. They are so dumb.
The people are not dumb. It's a gossip value. We all like gossip.
Well, but if you are not dumb and somebody comes to tell you something today, for the past 2 years that this guy has been coming after me, no single evidence. He comes to sit on TV and say, oh, this guy, Okatakyie, will go to jail. Meanwhile, in the whole of this country, the only case that I have before the courts of our nation, as it stands now, is a defamation suit by Kevin Taylor's father, Nana Okakabi, saying that I've defamed him. For that matter, he wants some compensation. Who goes to a civil case and ends up in jail? But the people believe in gossip. Okatakyie jail and this.
Well, it's the political and the election season and the electioneering of it, because he's speaking against MPP, so all NDC
will support his
like him. So you see what's happening with Trini Jonas. Now he's speaking against the government. NDC people don't listen. And I'm happy that MPP are not necessarily jumping onto it. But he's also demonstrating that he's for Ghanaians. But when he was ranting and raving and Akufo-Addo is this and that, because you see, you can always take advantage of the politics because it's very divided. So if I want to take advantage of the politics, I say something for MPP, and irrespective of what I say, MPP will support it. If I say anything about First Lady Lordina Mahama, because it's an NDC person, we have stopped in this country thinking about standards, that this is not correct, this is not right, this is not right. That's why you're asking me. I showed that documentary of J. Akufo, and the 1996 contest and the sense of decorum with which the losers were talking. You don't have that today.
No, you don't have that today.
It's gone completely.
No, it's not.
So I just want to be popular. I can say anything about President Mahama and MPP will support me because President Mahama is in government and MPP are trying to remove him. So that's what the advantage that this Jandam Taylor takes. He takes the advantage of its politics. Let me say anything about MPP. NDC will support me. So NDC are not looking at, do you think this is really proper journalism? Do you think this is sensible journalism?
But Paul, you are very much aware that although Kevin Taylor's platform, with the kind of misinformation he puts out there, is believed to have contributed immensely to their win.
Yes, absolutely.
But in the same vein, that same platform will take them home. Mark it on the wall.
Well, I don't know whether they will be. I don't know.
No, it's the same vein. That same platform will take them home.
But it's really terrible. It's
very
really,
terrible.
Really terrible.
You see,
for those who love journalism and want to see journalism as a verified job or as a job that is coming from research, something intellectual, we used to read Chronicle and we read Crusading Guide and all that. I mean,
he's not doing journalism. This guy is just doing political.
But it's not even sophisticated, and it's mistakes ridden. If you ask him to speak one paragraph of something sensible, he doesn't have it. And because he mixes language, he uses tree small, then he uses English, and it's all about insults, and then people are watching and they are laughing. But those who are laughing,
I believe we must echo this. I know for a fact that this government will not work. They will not take action on this lady's act, criminal.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure.
No, they won't.
No, it's not that. It's the states will. The police will.
She has people in higher places that will cover her. I know that for a fact.
Is it because of blackmail?
I don't know what she will use to get them to cover her, but I know that people will cover her in this government.
No, but they can't. The law is the law, as the Chief
No.
Justice said.
You know the political will. Is it not the Attorney General that will prosecute? It's the government that would like to prosecute. And the Attorney General has the power to say that we are not interested in this case or that case. Or
so we have to write to the CID and let the Attorney General say, I'm not interested in this case. Then we know what we have.
Well, maybe you can, I wouldn't want to waste
we can get
enough evidence for the Attorney General.
We can get lawyers to write to the Attorney General, bring this to his attention, and we can demonstrate that in 2 years, the Attorney General has not done anything about it. Or in 2 years, the CID evidence. Then when we hear that CID has arrested a quack doctor somewhere, then we take them on. Because the state is not the government. The state is the state. And the Attorney General is the principal legal advisor to the government. But the Minister for Justice is for the state.
But Paul, come on. You are talking about text. This is text.
No,
but
so
the reality differs. These are people who are micromanaged by the political class.
Once you write and they don't do it, then they have lost their rights to do another one. In fact, they have lost their right to exist as a state organization.
Right.
Because if you're a state organization as a criminal investigations department of the state of Ghana, and you are told about this, and this is in line with prosecutions that you have done for the last 60 years.
Right.
You've been prosecuting quack doctors.
And she's no different from the people that have been prosecuted.
So if we write to you CID, the CID commissioner is Lydia Donko, who is quite well respected. She's a lawyer, and not a lawyer of any mean repute. She knows her law.
Right.
And if there's a letter falls on her table, and we start calculating the time, and she says, I can't do anything about it, then the CID would have lost its moral obligation
to go after any other
exist.
person,
So that will be the citizens' role. The role of the citizens will be to bring it to
I agree with you. So let's go through that route.
We are going to do that.
Let's give them the benefit of the doubt that when we do
this is awful. This is completely awful.
No, it is. It is.
Abusua adwumapa on demand service for na ekasa ye adwumapa on demand for say wo pese wo di dwuma bia nkankanga fo am wo brochire a obehia nipa didi so ya tilers anasa building constructors fashion designers chese auto mechanic bia wo pese wo di say dwuma bia ma no obekọ ye app no so na wa download adwumapa on demand service anya sa so obekọ www.adwumapa on demand service eno so obekọ ko hu adwuma di edi nyina ni trimopo nyina ne se ye boawo ema wo kwakofo obi ana wodi dwuma bi a nipa a wo kwakofa no esansa wonnim na kira kwan bia anti no to bi kura nipa na gisika wie open here na hu no adwumapa on demand for aba ama sa ha nyina afiri ho esansa obi bia ya de be ma won so woni dwuma bia ma no ya ye background checks ehun se sa nipa yi onim ne wo ye enye kwanche trefa ni bia wonim de wo ye ene ye fa no edna ma wo na nigisa mba ko omu ne se onipa bia de be ma wo a odi be di dwuma bia no sabe background no sem anase si ebu afaso pade a enya de besi na wanso san nim se sabe ko soja mumpo a ye wo military police ono so soja ni ochi soja ni eno me kire mu se eye adwumapa on demand for no ye sanso supervisors a abre nyina no omko rounds check se adwuma na nipa no de beda ye no sa pepepe ene ye no na se adwumapa on demand de omama adwuma no aye simple se bibi ni ena onte ase ampacho no wafa numbers no ayegusuo no wafre